book. So we're in Bhagavad Gita as it is, in the 11th chapter, 28. Yatanadinam bhagavam durega samudrameva vimukhadravanti tatatavami maraloka vida vishanti vakshanya vivichvalanti. As the many waves of the river flow into the ocean, so do all these great warriors enter blazing into your mouths. Arjuna is speaking to the universal form. Yatha pradiptam shvalanam tatanga vishanti nashaya samritta vega tathaiva nashaya vishanti lokas tavapi vakshani samritta vega. I see all people rushing full speed into your mouths as moths dash to destruction in a blazing fire. Leliyase rasamana samantal lokan samagran vadanayar traladki tejo bhir apurya jagat samagram pasastavogra ratapanti vishno. O Vishnu, I see you devouring all people from all sides with your flaming mouths, covering all the universe with your effulgence. You are manifest with terrible scorching rays. Akyati ko bhavanuvarupo namostute deva prasida vikyatamichchami bhavantamadhyam nahi prajanami tava pravrittim. O Lord of Lords, so fierce of form, please tell me who you are. I offer my obeisances unto you. Please be gracious to me. You are the primal Lord. I want to know about you, for I do not know what your mission is. Om Janatamiram Tasya Gananjana Shalakaya Shakshrimidikam Kena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Ena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Padamahyam Tathati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jatavad Kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsa Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahavana Bhaganatan Vitam Tam Sasivam Sadretam Savadutam Vrijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahavana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha. He Krishna Purana Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Bhakta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishwabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchako Tatarupyascha Kripa Sindho Devacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The The Lord has shown Arjuna his universal form. Arjuna wanted to see how the Lord is all-encompassing, how everything is present within him. So Lord Krishna said, yes, I'll show you everything. Just see the entire universe here present in one place. And Arjuna was able to see the entire cosmic manifestation of this universe within the form of the gigantic form of Lord Krishna. And now the form has shown that everything is, he's destroying everything. That all of the warriors are rushing into the flaming mouths of the universal form, that universal form is devouring them like a meal, that the warriors are entering like waves into the Lord's mouth, or that they're rushing like moths into a fire. So Arjuna is asking, who are you? Why have you come? Agyahine ko avangurupa. Who are you in this uber, very terrible form? Namostute devavra prasida. I offer my obeisances, please be merciful to me. Vigyatamichchami palamkamadyam. I want to know about you. Nahi prajana pravrittim. Because I don't know what your mission is, what your purpose is, why you've appeared in this fierce aspect. Sri Bhagavan Vacha. Kalos miloka kshayaprit pravritto lokan samahartum iha pravrittaha prate pitam na bhavishanti sarve ye vastita prachanikeshu yodha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, time I am, the great destroyer of the worlds, and I have come here to destroy all people, with the exception of you, the Pandavas. All the soldiers here on both sides will be slain. Purport. Although Arjuna knew that Krishna was his friend and the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he was puzzled by the various forms exhibited by Krishna. Therefore, he asked further about the actual mission of this devastating force. It is written in the Vedas that the Supreme Truth destroys everything, even the Brahmanas. As stated in the Katha Upanishad, Yasya Brahma Chakatram Cha Upe Bhavata Odanaha Mrityur Yasyo Pasecham Gayata Vedayat Trasaha. Eventually, all the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, and everyone else are devoured like a meal by the Supreme. This form of the Supreme Lord is the all-devouring giant. And here, Krishna presents himself in that form of all-devouring time. Except for a few Pandavas, everyone who was present on that battlefield would be devoured by him. Arjuna was not in favor of the fight, and he thought it was better not to fight. Then there would be no frustration. In reply, the Lord is saying that even if he did not fight, every one of them would be destroyed, for that was his plan. If Arjuna stopped fighting, they would die in another way. Death could not be checked, even if he did not fight. In fact, they were already dead. Time is destruction, and all manifestations are to be vanquished by the desire of the Supreme Lord. That is the law of nature. Or kalosmi, the Lord says, I am time. Srila Prabhupada points this out as a lesson to the atheists. The atheists say there's no God. What is God? God is the supreme controller, the supreme Lord of everything. There's no supreme controller. But Srila Prabhupada points out that here is the supreme controller. If you don't accept Krishna as the supreme controller, still you have to accept death as the supreme controller. No one can say, no, I'm more powerful than death. I'm not subject to death. That's the definition of God. All-pervading, all-powerful. So death meets that description. Or time. Here, the two words are practically synonymous. Time brings about death. Time destroys. Lokakshayakrit destroys the entire world. Or loka means, loka, just like the world. The world has two meanings. The whole world knows, means all the people of the world. Or it means the physical world, the globe. So both of them are destroyed by time. Time destroys everyone, and time destroys everything, including the planet on which we live. No one gets immortality here, even if the planet will be annihilated. And how? By what force? By time. Time is unstoppable. Time is all-powerful. And time destroys. Someone has a nice Lumix camera here, but over time, this nice Lumix camera will fall apart. It will become old. It will, first one thing will break, and then another thing will break. If it lasts 10 years, you'll say, this camera has done me well. If it lasts 100 years, it'll be a collector's item. But it won't last forever. Time will grind it down. You get a house, immediately you have to work on the repairs. Because time starts grinding away. This rusts, this erodes, this breaks. And not only the house, but the house in which each of us live, this body, is subject to the same destructive force. Those of us who are old, as far as especially conscious, that this breaks, and then that breaks, and then this doesn't work, and that doesn't work. This corrodes, and that falls apart. And finally, the thing is useless. No one can live in it anymore. So, Lokakshayakrit, this is time. Therefore, Prabhupada said, if you don't offer your pranams, your obeisances to Krishna, you'll have to lie down flat in front of time. You'll be forced to submit. We're tiny. Waves. We've described waves of men are being washed into the oblivion of the mouths of the Lord in the form of time. Kalosmi. So Krishna appears in the form of time. Time is, Prabhupada said, the impersonal feature of Krishna. Krishna is the supreme personality. He's personal, he's affectionate, he's loving, more than affectionate. And he's manifested. Face to face, the devotees of the Lord can see Krishna, talk with Krishna, those who are perfected devotees. But time is invisible, untouchable, but it's there. Although no one can see time, time is everywhere active. So it's the imperceptible, all-pervading feature of Krishna. Lokam samahartum iha pravrittam. Samaharta means destroying. Why have I come? I've come to destroy everyone. Immediately he's come to destroy everyone at Kurukshetra. And then more broadly, he comes to destroy everyone. All our bodies will be destroyed, all our things will be destroyed. This is the work of time. In the spiritual world, Nimeshar Hakyo na Vrajati Nahi Yajabi Samaya. Time doesn't, not even a moment of time passes in the spiritual world. That means the spiritual world is beyond our ability to figure out. By the way, do I have a time limit, a strict time limit?
RT's at 7.
RT's at 7? Well, that's a pretty strict time limit.
Sometimes they talk through RT, but that's
sometimes we talk about it, okay. Remind me, I just lost the beginning. Where was I?
You were saying about the spiritual world.
Spiritual world. The nature of the spiritual world is that time is conspicuous by its absence. That means we can't even understand it because none of us can have experience of what it's like to live without time. In our view, without time, everything would stop. Everything would freeze without time, right? Speaking of which, I really don't want speaking a little longer. But I can, right? Well,
yeah, we can have chances after the small party. You can go on.
I can go on and you'll also go on and have work your time. Okay.
And then again, we can have questions.
And then again, you can have questions. No, you can do it that way.
Please. Please.
Okay, let's see what happens. So we think that if time is not passing, then everything is frozen. They get movies like that, time freezes and means everything stops. Graph stops moving and that's it. So there's no more motion, no more activity. But in the spiritual world, everything is going on. There's activity. And yet there's no time. In the material world, we have 3 phases of time. Past, which is gone. Future, which has not yet happened. And present, which moves quickly into the past. But in the spiritual world, there's only present. Everything's eternally present. Now, how does that work? No one can figure out how it works. It doesn't correspond to the material laws, or to look at it another way, it's not limited by the material laws. It's not forced to operate within the restrictions of material law. And therefore nothing deteriorates. Time means deterioration or destruction. In the spiritual world, everything's always new, always fresh. But it's beyond our thinking capability. Power of thought can't really understand how things can go on without time, and yet it does. But in the spirit, in the material world, time reigns supreme. Ritepi tvam na bhavishanti sarve. Na bhavishanti is interesting. Bhavishanti means they will exist. And na bhavishanti, they will not exist. So, none of these people have a future. No one here has a future. Their future existence is gone. Na bhavishanti, they will not continue to exist. Ritepi, this is also interesting. Ritepi means, has two meanings. Except for you and without you. And Prabhupada glosses both meanings in the purport. Except for you means that except for a few people, except for the Pandavas, everyone in Kurukshetra on both sides, Prati Anikeshu, on both sides, everyone will be slain except for you. You and your brothers, everyone else will be finished, except for you. And Ritepi also means without you. I don't need you to kill all these people. They're dead. Krishna will next say, I've already killed everyone. You can fight or not fight. They're going to die. And therefore your idea, I will not fight, is meaningless. If you think that you'll ensure the continued life of Bhishma, Drona, you're in illusion. Because time has already ordained that they'll die. In the form of time, I've already decided that. Even without you, who are you? What can you do to stop their death? Ye vastita prachinikeshu yodha. All of the soldiers on both sides are finished. In the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, Nayotyayati Govindam, I shall not fight. And here, what does it matter? You fight or not fight. My power has already decided that they're going to die. But, as Krishna will make clear in subsequent verses, I want you to kill them so that you'll get the credit. You don't have to do anything except fight. The outcome is decided. But I want to give you the credit. So fight. But it's up to you. Similarly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Prithiviti Yashache Nagaradi Gram Savatra Prachara. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu predicted that in every town and village, Prithiviti, on the surface of the world, this chanting will be known, my name will be known, Hare Krishna Mahaprabhu. So Prabhupada said, it's already decided, now you can spread it and take the credit. Or else someone else will take the credit. But it's already decided. And therefore we should take advantage of the opportunity to take up this Krishna consciousness and spread Krishna consciousness. All right. Now tell me what's going to happen next. Or who calls the shots here?
Questions? Okay, we can take questions.
Questions now? And your time after?
Yes.
Okay. That assumes, of course, that there are questions. Let's see. Not from you.
I have a question.
Yes. Is that a question, or is that just an idle hand?
Here's the question.
Yes.
Maharaj, you just like in the last few, like.
No.
Pardon?
Sure, say.
In the end, you were saying about like Krishna has already told that they are dead, and if you kill, then you get acquitted. And similarly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has also told that if you preach, you get the credit, but you get the credit. But anyways, people will start chanting in every town and village. So my question is this like specifically for these two? Are these the only two things where like you can get credit, or like all other things are also?
No, you can get credit. It's already ordained that there'll be IT all over the world. So if you like, you've come from India, you can do that. So you can get credit for that, or you can get credit for spreading Krishna consciousness. You decide what's more important.
My question, what I wanted to ask is like, is it like everything in the future is decided like this?
So much
this
is
going to-
so much is decided. We're thinking that the future, what does it, create your own reality, and the future is in your hands, and it's all up to you. It's all rubbish. It's all rubbish. So much has already been decided. You're going to die. Is that up to you? No, decided. Your son and daughters will die after you. That's decided. Some nonsense politicians will get elected and stay for some time and pick your pocket and then give way to the next ones. Already decided. So much is already there. We're thinking. Prakrite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasha ahankara vimuthatma kartam. So much is already done by material nature, but we think falsely, I'm doing it. Things are actually set in motion. So much is going on. We have a little wiggle room, but so much is decided already. And we're thinking it's up to me. Just like I saw, and you always see these posters, stop hunger, wipe out hunger. And hunger has been around since prehistoric times. And who was it? There was some sort of marginal religious group back about 20 years ago. Wipe out hunger in our lifetime. I think the group is gone, but hunger is still there.
You talked about time, then you said that in spiritual world there is only present, no past, no future. So why the time is not moving in the spiritual world? That is moving in the material world.
Because it's the spiritual world. In the material world, that's the way things go. And some things, you can enjoy something for some time, and then it's gone. It's a different reality. Why doesn't it work the way it works here? If I'm released from prison, why are there no bars? Why is there no warden? Why are there no walls? Why no barbed wire? Prisoners are demanding to know. Because it's not necessary.
Can we hold on to questions now? Can we do the kirtan and then again take the questions?
You can do whatever you like.
Yeah, because I think we have only 20 minutes. Should we do that? Okay. Let's do 20 minutes kirtan and then we'll again have the question and answers.
Sorry, please forgive.
I only work here, I just...
Take your time yourself.
Prove it. QED.
So please stand up, we'll have small Rajan Kirtan.
Where were we? We were talking about the universal form.
Maharaj, we were in the question answer.
Last question was on time. Last question.
Or is it anything goes? Any questions? Is there questions about the universal form, or is it anything goes?
Maharaj, this goes back to Prabhuji's first question, where it was, yes.
Do you have a second microphone, by the way? That's the easier way to do it.
I can-
People work less hard.
I can be louder, yeah. So the first question was about, is everything pre-decided? So my question is that, so you said that, yeah, pretty much, because Krishna is saying that, if not me, if you don't accept my words, then it's going to be the time. So we also talk about, in this relationship, we also talk about sanction of the Lord. Many a times, like just recently we had a Bhakti Shastri course, and in that our teacher was saying that, like for example, he gave example of plastic. And then he said plastic was something that was not in the sanction of the Lord, but then we do it, like we manufactured it and everything. But then I was not able to relate to it, but you also mentioned that, Krishna said, ultimately, yeah, if it's destruction, it's supposed to be happening. Like, so it's like some of the things that we do or invent or, some innovation, how do we know that whether it's under the, is it under the sanction of the Lord or not, when we also talk about everything being pre-decided, and Krishna says that?
Two issues there. One is the extent to which things are pre-decided, and also the extent to which we can, create mischief without divine sanction. This question of how much is this, I dealt with in my book. I don't know if you have copies here.
Thank you. We have
Yeah, some copies too. There's a little wiggle room that we have. It's not that everything is 100% pre-decided, because otherwise, what's the use of Shastra? Shastra says, Krishna says, surrender to me. What's the use of saying that if it's already predetermined? So we have a little bit of wiggle room, but not much. Not nearly as much as we think we do. Not nearly as much as we think we do, but still a little bit. Tiny independence, probably called it. That tiny independence means we can turn toward Krishna or away from Krishna. That's in our hands. We turn away from Krishna, then actually everything is controlled by material nature. We think that we're controlling it, but it's actually the machinery that's controlling it. Because we're controlled then by material nature, because that's what we surrendered to. Then, the extent to which we can create mischief, yes, that's also sanctioned by the Lord. This is the world of mischief. The spiritual world is the world of, what would you say, cooperation, of agreement, where everyone agrees, yes, let's please Krishna. And the material world is the world in which everyone wants to do things his own way. And Krishna, yes, all right. You want to do things your own way? Go ahead. And suffer. And make one another suffer. That's the nature of the material world. Prabhupada gave the example that, I guess in his childhood, if the two students were cutting up in the class, then they would be called to the front of the class, and then one student is told to take hold of the ears of the other student. And both students were told that. And then at the order of the teacher, they have to pull. So each causes trouble for the other. And that's the world. I create corporations and products and what have you for my own satisfaction at your expense. And finally I say, customer is king, we love our customers, we only care about our customers. And the fact is we know that no one gives a hoot about the customers. customers are only necessary, but not loved. So finally, everyone is interested in his own pleasure at everyone else's expense. And so we create, everything from plastic to huge cigarette marketing campaigns and liquor but drink responsibly. And so on. So the world is not put together in such a way that everyone acts in accord with divinity. We act in accordance with the three modes of nature: goodness, passion, and ignorance. And therefore we create what Prabhavantu Karmana Kshayaya Jagato. Krishna says those who are of demonic nature create terrible things meant for destruction in the world. Also, I don't need to elaborate. So Krishna allows that. All right, you want to play? Play. Okay. Yes.
You just mentioned how if you have the choice to surrender to Krishna or turn away from Krishna. If you turn away from Krishna, you basically, your destiny is you're going to suffer and stuff. Now, you turn towards Krishna, and is your destiny you'll go back to Krishna, or some of us we turn toward Krishna and we also turn towards the other, we're kind of in between. So what's destiny?
Well, if we're vacillating, then our destiny is described in the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Yoga Rashtra Vijayate, those who are not fixed in yoga. Of course, Krishna, by his causeless mercy, even if we're vacillating, he can say, all right, good enough. That's called causeless mercy. But otherwise, if we take up yoga and then lay it aside, we take up Krishna consciousness and then go on to something else, that's called yoga rashtra, deviated from the path. So then, Krishna says, still, nahi kalyana kritkashchit durgatim tata gashchati. All is not lost, he's taken up something good. It can't go in vain. Finally, one comes back and becomes attracted to Krishna consciousness again from where he left off. Avasha. Vyatna Yatamanas Yoga Samshuta Kilvisha Meka Janma Samsitaspito Yaki Pramandati. And when it comes back and when it comes back in a good family, Shuchinam Srimatan Gehe, a dominical family or a wealthy family, or maybe a family of devotees. And then Tatratam Buddhisam Yoga, he develops the divine consciousness of previous life. Navate Parvadehika, Yatate Jatavu Yosan. And Purvabhya Senatena Rite, Yavashopisa, almost helplessly he becomes attracted again. And picks up. Then people wonder, why is it that I'm so attracted to this thing? And, it's almost weird because it doesn't fit with, what my parents are telling me or what my friends are doing, but somehow or other, because of his previous spiritual advancement, now he's attracted again. He can't just be an ordinary materialist, whether he wants to be or not, because he knows better. So now he picks up where he left off.
We
regarding this universal form and what we discussed in the morning 7th chapter, Lord says that I am equal to everyone. So is that, though Lord equal to everyone, He favors His devotees?
Start again.
Regarding, when we are studying now Vishwarup Darshan of the Lord, the universal form. So I want to understand that the statement of the Lord in the 7th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, the Lord says that I am equal to everyone, and it is that point is stressed so much. What we nowadays we are discussing in our temple. So is that Lord, though equal to everyone, He favors to His devotee? Because here we see that others are entering in the mouth, and He is giving assurance to Arjuna, Krishna, and other Pandavas.
Samoham sarvabhuteshu name dveshosti na kriyaha ye bhajanti tumam bhaktya ye bhajanti tumam bhaktya mayi te teshu shakti. Krishna says, I'm equal to everyone, but those who engage in my service are within me, and I'm within them. Equal to everyone means he's equal to, just like a judge. He sentences someone to be hanged, and he sentences someone, he awards someone else, damages of $500,000. Does it mean that the judge is partial? He's rewarding someone and killing someone? It's as they deserve. But those who are demonic can be killed. Those who are devotees can go back to Godhead. Of course, everyone will be killed. Not the Pandavas they may not be killed in Kurukshetra, they also have to die. Jataspiti, Dhruva, but not at Kurukshetra. And finally, yes, Krishna, although he's impartial, then he reciprocates that according to the way we approach him. That's equal to all. The sun is equal to all. And why doesn't it shine inside your house when you close the shutters and blinds? Yes.
Could you please tell a little more about serving Lord Chaitanya?
More about what?
Serving Lord Chaitanya.
Serving Lord Chaitanya. Do it.
Specifically, I'm trying to understand, since it's all predicted and it's not done by us.
Slow down, please.
Since it's all predicted already, and it's the holy name will be in every village, and it's not done by us, by our effort, it's done by Krishna. Why is it so pleasing to Krishna that we take part? Well, we don't do.
Why is it pleasing to Krishna that
we take part in it?
We take part in
although we don't do
it. If you take part in it, it's pleasing. If you don't take part in it, then someone else is pleasing. But why is he pleased when someone, it's natural. Even a politician, he pays people, glorify me. Glorify me. And everyone, if your friend flatters you, everyone likes it. Everyone likes to be appreciated. Well, why? Well, it's there in Krishna himself. He's the original person. He likes to be appreciated. So if you glorify him, then Krishna appreciates it. You don't have to. You have freedom. But he'll appreciate it. And also, that's one side, and it's beneficial to others. So it's doubly appreciated. You can chant Hare Krishna, glorifying Krishna in your room, that will be appreciated, but if you distribute the chanting to others, that's more appreciated because you're helping others. Chatasman Manusheshu Kashchime Priya Krishna. Krishna says he's most feared. Who's that? The person who's spreading this message. Anything else? Okay, we can stop here. Thank you all very much. Krishna. Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Samaveta Bhakti ki
Jai. His Holiness Jayadvaita Swami Maharaj ki
Jai.
His Holiness Jayadvaita Swami Maharaj ki
Jai.